Hey, look alive, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Cool, 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 cool. Awesome to see everyone doing well for the most part. Grind Wario, number 9. I dig it. General Godzilla. Hey, Spartan, thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. I'll get to that in a second here. Getting to the Super Boss Final Fantasy VII Remake. Best of luck. And congrats on finishing your last final. Your final. You can probably call it. Punisher there. Yeah, I mean, tonight's gonna be pretty much more of the same shit. Hey, Omar, thank you for the Switch Prime. And, 21 months, dude. Alright. Alright, hype, because I got, LF Vegito and Dragon Ball Legends. I don't know what the LF means. Million Tears Relationship and time is gone. Time is, good enough. That's a really good question. Anyway, let me see here. Alright. Last time on Durgan War, Ted ran around flailing around with his sword, flinging magic missiles everywhere and masquerading everything in his path, all in an effort to level up so he doesn't get his ass handed to him by the next boss. Will it work? How many more times will the knight mount Ted's head on a pike? Find out more in Episode 9. Progression never tasted so sweet. That's loud. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's time for my time for the weekly Dragon Warrior grind fest. Making sure that's fine here. Now, the good news is, so anyway, let's continue grinding. Let me get the controller here. Oh boy, let me see. Which one? Yeah, that one. Oh, okay. Heart Replayer Joe, I'm assuming the video showing the mark, I'm assuming you're talking about the Wizard of Oz thing? Because I showed it to him like last week as soon as that session was over because he was already at work. But yeah, he's seen it and he was like, why'd you send me out of context porn? I was like, no, man, it's not the point that it's out of context. The point is that they put so much fucking effort into that song. You know, that's what I'm enamored by, you know? So, let's see here. I'm level 16, and we need to get to level 17. If I remember from last session, level 17 is 16,000 experience points. Which means we are a little under 3,000 to get to it, which means we are killing a lot of things today. We're basically at a point now in the game where there is nothing else to buy. Our goal is just glorified in money. And we're just getting stronger for our encounter with the Dragon Lord. Because last session, after copious amounts of grinding in the beginning of the first hour or so, I went to the destroyed village. I know it has a name, but I don't remember any of the damn names in this game because I don't commit it to memory. We defeated the boss defending Erdrick's armor. So we have that on now, which is not only the best armor in the game, it also gives us, like, auto-regen, as in, we heal every time we take a step on the field. I think it's 1 HP per step, which is good. It's gonna cut on, like, using MP to heal myself between spells, or between bouts. But now, since we have the best armor in the game, and the second best sword, and the second best shield, I think, because I think there's also an Erdrick shield, there is nothing else to do except walking circles and grind our asses off until we're at a capable enough level. That said, I mean, what is a capable enough level to reliably, I don't want to say comfortably, but reliably beat Dragon Lord? Because we're level 16 now. Punished Earth says max. What's the level cap of this game? Seeing how it takes so long to get to levels like in the late game, I want to say it's 30. Is level cap 30? Level cap is 30. Okay, level cap is 30. Cap might be 30. Is it necessary to be at level 30 to be the Dragon Lord? Because I want to say no. I don't think it's necessary to get to the end, the cap. We need to be 17 because I know that we get heal more at level 17 based on what you guys said last week. And we need heal more. Like, that is a necessity. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You need heal more. Unless you're, like, deliberately speedrunning this game that knows, like, how to fuck with, like, manipulation of code and all that based on the number of steps you take and, like, menu manipulation and all that sort of shit. Oh, I should have did stop spell. Because this Star Wyvern likes to cast heal more, as he's almost dead. Or maybe it's about the amount of turns he takes. Yeah, you see, look at that. That spell has been blocked. Look at that. I'm not going to give you the chance, Star Wyvern. See, now we're at a point, I mean, look how far we've come. We're now at a point where we can reliably kill the monsters around this town, where originally it was just, you know, I could maybe get away with killing one thing, and then I had to leave. Because everything was just kicking my ass. Hey, your main guy, thank you for the tier 1. 18 months. Wait, if 9 months is a baby, do I have 2? Yeah, the rule of thumb is that we have 2 babies now. Twins. No, it's not twins, because they weren't born at the same time. So, yeah, but it's 2 babies now.
Excuse me?
That's how it works. Wait, what?
2 babies?
I came in and just as quickly left.
Hello.
How's it going?
I came here to push the terms of service.
Push the terms of... Oh, okay, no. Okay, yeah, I guess. Without outright breaking them.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Jesus Christ. Man, I can't wait to get heal more. Ah! Oh, fuck, you know, go for broke. Just kill it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's that's kind of like you're in this vicious cycle of healing yourself and then immediately getting back down to where you were because the dragon attacks and doesn't miss you. God forbid. Can enemies crit in this? I don't remember if enemies can crit.
It's a JRPG, so probably. At least they don't heal themselves, that's for sure.
Well, the Star Wyverns do. The Star Wyverns will attempt to, anyway, if you don't cast Stop Spell. Hey, Rob Marie Steiner, thank you for the tier 1. 3 months? Hey, I was around level 23 when I beat this game. You definitely don't need to hit max level 4. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you don't need to get the level cap for this one. Otherwise, we'd be here for another fucking 30 sessions.
Still, though, level 23 is fucking high up there.
I don't want to go to the Dragon Lord as soon as I hit 17, though, because I know, like, heal more is really important, but I want to say maybe 1 or 2 levels after that, just to see how far I can go, because we still got to deal with stronger adds, and then we also have to deal with the Dragon Lord himself, and I know the Dragon Lord is 2 phases. There's the Dragon Lord himself, and there's Dragon form. He dodged my attack! Also, who here is getting Streets of Rage 4? Because that is coming out, that's coming out tomorrow. Or midnight tonight, if you're getting it digitally.
I mean, I got a game with Streets and the number 4 on it, so...
Nice. Street Fighter 4.
Yep. I saw gameplay of Streets of Rage 4. That looks really nice.
Man, I can't wait.
I'll wait till it goes on sale or something.
How much is it going for now? I think it's $30.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I will buy you a copy if you want to play it now. Hey, Swanberger, thank you for the tier 1.
I'm not going to say no, but I'm also not going to push my luck.
We'll talk later. It's the least I can do for giving me company. Let me stop spell on this fucking thing. Hey, Broken Control, thank you. Hold on, let me respawn. Minimum 2 so I was Dragon Ball scoring for scoring 4. I don't know the letter 4. I don't know the letter 4. I don't know what the number 4 is specifically at the end of that comment, Songringer, but the grind fests are indeed going. I mean, that's pretty much all I can really say. Breathing fire, would you cut that out? Stop that. Broken Control, thank you for the Twitch Prime, 27 months. So how's the new cat doing, Johnny? Is he doing alright? Yeah, Chico Odinson is doing just fine. I think he's sleeping behind the couch, though, because while he's very, very welcoming, he's still adjusting to the house, because he was just brought in yesterday. And he already has a retreat spot, which is behind the couch. And right now, he's behind the couch. I'm not sure if he's sleeping. I'm going to assume he's sleeping because I haven't heard from him in like 2 hours. Got a new litter box, got a new bowl for him.
Is he loud?
No, he's just like super fucking house cat. Like, doesn't meow at all. Purrs like a motherfucker when he gets close. You know, he's very welcoming to human contact. Because I think originally he was adopted from the SPCA, and you know, like he was already kind of like raised with human contact already, which is good. You know, that saves me a lot of trouble. And I told myself after Celine, no more kittens. Because, Jesus Christ.
Finding animals is a pain.
Raising a kitten, like, from, like, week one, especially as early as I got Celine. Because I got Celine week 1, week 2. And it was like raising a newborn. I couldn't sleep often. I had to feed it often. And then I found out it was a girl, and I was like, oh, okay, finally.
The worst Tamagotchi ever.
Yeah. Man, fuck Tamagotchis. What breed of cat? I can't tell you, Ranges. I know we usually call them bodega cats because, well, that's what Chico was. It was a cat in a deli or a store. Because the cat was not mine. It was originally my step-grandparents and my step-uncle. But due to familial circumstances, the store is closing down, and there's no one to take care of the cat. So I felt I didn't want that cat to be left alone, or at the very least get, you know, adopted somewhere else. It's like, no, the cat looks wholesome. I'm gonna take the cat with me. So I asked if it was okay. They said, sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. And now Chico is mine. What was I doing? Did I use that spell? I kind of just blanked out there for a second. Yeah, I guess cat that is a way of putting it. But, you know, it's going to be a process.
As long as you don't become the crazy cat dad, you'll be fine.
Oh, man, where I just fucking throw cats everywhere, like as a means of defense. I don't have guns. You don't need a permit to throw cats. Super Megas. So I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake last night. Very good game. I can't wait for the sequel, though. I wish some bosses weren't so redundant with certain abilities and moves. Certain redundancy? I'm not sure what you mean, because I don't ever thinking a boss ever dragged on.
I can think of one, but I can't really say much because...
Yeah, because of spoiler territory. Yeah, we were talking about that last session. I'm not sure if you caught the end of that, but it's like... Because normally when we're talking about, like, new releases for, like, movies and stuff, like, our spoiler threshold is 2 weeks. But for an RPG, I want to say a month. Because I want to talk about shit, but it's like, I know people are still playing the game.
And even then, it's a really special case with a remake, that's for sure.
Yeah. Where it's like... You can talk about stuff that was in the original game, but you can't deviate from the stuff that the remake does differently.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, it's a crime that Crisis Core has never been re-released.
Yeah, you know what? Because it was the best out of the complication.
Yep. I've been replaying it on my PSP again, so... I kind of need some sort of fill. And I really don't want to play Dirge of Cerberus.
Nah, I don't think anybody does. Like, legit, I don't remember anything about that game besides certain things that didn't mesh well with me. But I haven't played that game since 2006.
Dirge or Crisis?
Dirge.
I found out recently that it has a mouse and keyboard support.
Does it?
Yeah. I was watching Digital Foundry today and finally since beating the 7 remake, I'm finally able to like deep down the YouTube video
Yeah.
and like, oh cool, like Dirge of Cerberus had mouse and keyboard support. I'm like, oh shit.
What? That's so random.
Yeah. So now I need to hook up. I need to find a copy of it and try it out myself.
I guess that's one way to. That's one excuse to pick the game back up, I guess. I like Dirge as a kid, but I also like Attack of the Clones, so not sure if that invalidates anything.
If I recall, the Star Wars games were really good back in the day.
I recall hearing that the Attack of the Clones game was better than the movie. That's not very hard to do, though.
No.
I hear that the Revenge of the Sith game was also... People liked it way more than the movie itself.
I've heard horrible jokes about how it's horribly glitched at the end when spoiler alert, you fight Anakin.
Yeah.
And apparently how once you kill Anakin, his death screen will appear about 7 to 8 minutes later.
Oh. Attack of the Clones, the worst Star Wars movie in my opinion. Oh, we want to open up that can of worms? I mean, God knows we need discussion for this shit. Worst Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones? I mean, that's an easy candidate. I'm inclined to agree, because Jesus Christ, that movie's painful to watch.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. Disney trilogy.
I can't say much of the Disney trilogy. I've only seen episode 7, and I keep forgetting the fucking name. But,
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, alright, thank you. I keep forgetting it for some reason.
I mean, that's fair.
It's a New Hope all over again.
Disney trilogy, I feel like doesn't accomplish anything. Like, I think that's the biggest sin that it can commit. Is that it does not matter, it does not accomplish anything, it does not leave an imprint on anything significant in the mythology of Star Wars. It just goes and repeats all the beats from the original trilogy without having any of the impact of the former. You know, at least the prequels had that mystique and draw from being set before. Like, how did we get to this point? But
it was done mixed, I would say.
Yeah, well, to put it lightly. Then again, you know, Star Wars fans are like, you know, sci-fi Sonic fans are never happy.
Yeah.
They'll also redeem us. Thank you for Switch Prime. Hope all's going well. Things are going. Just skip to Rise of Skywalker. Last Jedi ain't worth it. I would disagree because Rise of Skywalker spends nearly 75% of its film fixing Last Jedi. Well, trying to course correct from Last Jedi, I should say. Whether it fixes is an entirely different thing, and I would say it doesn't.
I'm gonna just do what my dad told me and just stick to the original trilogy and the prequel series, and that's it. Because my dad has been a fucking massive Star Wars fan since the 70s.
Yeah.
And he liked Force Awakens, but then after rewatching it, he said like, yeah, just stick to 1 through 6.
I think it's The Force Awakens was more like, I'm reminded so much from A New Hope, and it's like, but that's probably why I liked it. And it's also like, yeah, that was also the intention to bank so much on A New Hope.
Nostalgia, yeah.
But then, you know, in retrospect, you look back at it, it's like, what makes the movie good on its own merits? And the answer is that there's not much there. Like,
it felt like it should have been like a TV series to get to the final part, and then they should have started off when Rey met Luke.
To have more time to breathe at the very least, you know. That's one of the reasons why I feel The Mandalorian did so well. You know, because Mandalorian's great. Like, if you haven't watched that show on Disney Plus, like, you should watch Mandalorian. Mandalorian's good. Mandalorian has the benefit of being a television series and it has time to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Well, the better question is, Empire or Return of the Jedi?
Empire.
Really?
Like, it's not even the close. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Return of the Jedi. But I think Empire is just... I can't get sick of that film. Like, it is so fucking well crafted.
To me,
Like,
To me, my favorite one is my favorite one is Jedi. That's the one. I think it's mostly because that's the one that I grew up with at the time. Because my dad was a fucking huge Star Wars fan, and as a kid, like, nope, we were sitting down and watching all this shit. But for some reason, Return of the Jedi is the one that sparked closer to me because you get to see the redemption arc of Luke from going to the dark side and returning the Jedi. It's in the name.
Well, you mean Anakin?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, but God, I can't.
Because Luke didn't really falter into the dark side though.
No, but he had the tendencies at the end, especially when he's right next to the Emperor and.
No, he was just an angsty teenager. If that's the dark side, then I've done to the dark side many fucking times.
But Empire is amazing.
Yeah, man.
Holds up. It's probably the one that holds up the best.
Yeah, I still recommend the movie today. It is, to me, a timeless Star Wars film. Because there are things about the prequel series I feel that's not necessarily the narrative's fault, but as a film, it's dated by being a late '90s movie that had like really early CGI in it. I mean, I feel Attack of the Clones is the worst with that shit, and the green screen is everywhere in that film. Again, you want to have arguments for why there is still credence to having like practical effects and sets and all that sort of thing. You compare the original Star Wars trilogy to prequel trilogy, and there's your argument right there. Dark side of being a teen is a pathway to many abilities that some consider to be unnatural. You're going to have hair growing where there wasn't hair before, Anakin.
You can choke suit with your mind. Sold.
Is it accurate to say that The Rise of Skywalker is the Sonic Forces of movies? Not even close. Yeah, I don't think it. Sonic Forces is just an average Sonic game. Rise of Skywalker is a nothing Star Wars movie that spends too much time course correcting what Last Jedi did. Sonic Forces wasn't trying to correct anything. It was just by the numbers. It was a very by the numbers modern Sonic game.
I can't say much of Sonic Forces. I haven't played it yet.
I mean, what's it going for nowadays? Because it was a budget title at release. Like I think it was
free
$40
on PS Plus. It's on my PS4. I just don't have the drive to it.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm not the biggest Sonic fan. Like I like Sonic, but
yeah,
you won't see me going out of my way to getting most of the games.
Right. So like nowadays, it goes for like Triforce says $15 to $20, and you know what? That's a fine price for it. I feel that is a right price for a Forces, considering how much of a nothing Sonic game it is. Like I can't. Like Sonic Force disappointed me because just of how much it didn't really do anything, but it's not a terrible game. It's just there. And honestly, like I hate talking about those kind of games because there's nothing really to talk about.
it's a footnote.
Yeah.
Just like Dirge of Cerberus.
Dark Ace. Well, the way I see Rise of Skywalker is trying to do what Sonic Forces were doing, bringing back classic nostalgic pawns and attempting to show what they can handle old canon and creating a legacy. That sounds like Force Awakens, Dark Ace. Not so much Rise of Skywalker, but again, but you can say that for 2/3 of the Disney trilogy, which is why I have to give Last Jedi some credit for attempting to deviate from that. Because I know Last Jedi pissed a lot of fucking people off with how it was so focused on being subversive for the sake of being subversive. But if you ask me, it's the most unique of the Disney trilogy. The problem is that who was the director of Last Jedi? Was it, I want to say Rian Johnson? I think that was the name of the dude. because they had no
Yes.
intentions of following up with his vision at the end of the film, and by the third film, like that, they just like, no, it's like Last Jedi didn't really happen. Come on, come on. What are you doing? Stop that.
I think the set pieces of The Force Awakens were there. It was just handled really poorly. Because I did like how originally it was hinted, especially in the original trailers for The Force Awakens, when it was like hinted that John Boyega's character, I forgot his name.
Finn. Yeah.
Finn was shocking. Was originally looked into the theaters. I can't talk today.
Neither can I.
The trailers were hinting that like he was going to be the Jedi, but in reality it was Rey. And
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty good twist at the time. But then from what I hear, her character just went straight down the toilet after that.
They don't do anything with her. You know, they set up things because, you know, J.J. Abrams is so fascinated with the mystery box element. Setting up things now and thinking about the payoff later. It's very Tetsuya Nomura's design, if I can compare it to something. But then the second movie does dick all with it, or decides like, you know, I'm not actually really interested in this or that or this or that. And I'd imagine if you're interested in learning about what the payoff for those elements were in The Force Awakens, you'd be disappointed in that, and that's fair. That is a fair argument to make. At the same time, what do you do when you like the decisions that Rian Johnson made? But then by the third film, they go back to, you know, because I think J.J. Abrams was back to directing the movie for the third film, and it's also like, no man, I want to make a sequel to The Force Awakens. I don't want to make a sequel to The Last Jedi. I want to make a sequel to The Force Awakens, and it's like, but that stinks up the whole movie because it just leaves a lot of shit dangling that Last Jedi set up, or at least it reverts or retcons or reverts back to something that, you know, Last Jedi set up and they don't do anything about. It's frustrating. It's a very frustrating movie.
Sounds like
And
a fun
someone,
tagline.
was it a gold member PB was saying that it would have been, for better or worse, in my opinion, it would have been better if J.J. Abrams at least directed all three films. That way, at the very least, the vision would be consistent. It'd probably just be the whole like trilogy of like rehashes and all that, true, but there would be a level of consistency there that what we got now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe it's just, I don't know. It's tricky because.
But then again, think of it. They might thought of doing what they did with Empire, where it was a completely different director. It wasn't just George Lucas. It was
maybe. It was like we have to have a second director for the second film because that's how it worked for Empire, right? It was like, yeah, but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they were just hoping that J.J. Abrams did something similar to because he was also responsible for the Star Trek reboot.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that film, the 2008 Star Trek film. I really liked that one. I did not watch the other two, so I don't know how those. Are quality-wise, but I really enjoyed J.J. Abrams with the Star Trek reboot. Maybe they were hoping that it'd be the same thing with Star Wars, but it's like give him one movie and then you give it to somebody else for the second movie and you bring it back for the third one. It's like, nope. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was sequels. Well, no, there was one. I think I remember one of the sequels to Star Trek, but that's usually because they bring back an old actor from the original series and all that stuff.
But better than fucking Picard. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, though, because I'm a very on and off fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. And I say that because Star Trek The Next Generation was one of those shows I caught a bunch growing up, but never really dedicated just sitting down and watching season after season. Like, I know a lot of bits about Star Trek TNG, but not as a collective. So what does Picard do wrong, if you don't mind me asking? If anyone here is a diehard Star Trek fan, or what have you, and watches Picard, what is it that Picard does wrong, in your opinion? You know, it's funny, because like, nowadays I find myself watching a lot of clips from TNG, because I love the writing of TNG.
There was a ride here in Vegas for the Star Trek experience.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my teachers, his wife's used to work there. He would nonstop talk about it.
I mean, it's a great show. You know, my mom is a really big Star Trek nut. Like, she watched all of them except after what was the show after Deep Space Nine? I want to say there was Voyager.
I think so.
Voyager, which she watched them all up till Voyager. I think Voyager was the last one she watched, and after that, I didn't really follow up on it. We watched the movies together too, but she was all over Star Trek, and that was in a way got me exposed to the series in itself too. I never watched the original '60s show. No real interest, if I'm being honest. But Next Generation, you know, that's a great television series that I really need to just take the time to sit down and watch in its entirety, because I love every character that I see in that. You know? Picard, Riker, Data, you know, all those guys. Yeah, Worf. Oh God, I love Michael Dorn.
Yeah,
I want Michael Dorn to narrate my life, and if I can't do that, then I'll just get John from Game Explain to do a Worf impression, which he can do naturally already, because holy fuck the baritone in that dude. Like I was recently watching, not to shift topics immediately, but I was recently watching John's video on like video games in 50 hertz PAL region, basically compared to 60 hertz. Like growing up with the PAL versions of games, and how like it was so weird how it was slower than like the 60 hertz versions. But it's like I'm only like half paying attention to what he's saying because I'm so enamored with his voice. It's like, Jesus Christ, but read me a bedtime story, Daddy.
Didn't expect that coming in, but all right. Yeah, my knowledge of Star Trek is very little. I have one of the games on PS1, and there was a ride here in Vegas, which I went to like twice in my life, and just a couple clips, because there was a big Star Trek convention here in Vegas, and I remember a lot of people coming in by that. But my knowledge of Star Trek is very little, other than just references in other shows and
yeah,
the infamous Khan.
It gets both Picard's character and the feel of Star Trek wrong, and it goes off the rails hard. Maybe the show's trying too hard to be its own thing. Maybe that's what it sounds like I'm getting from that.
Yes, it was called Star Trek Invasion on PS1.
I have a Super Nintendo Star Trek game. I think it's Starfleet Academy. I think that's the name of it.
At the Pinball Hall of Fame, they have the... I think I took a photo of it. It's a sit-down arcade cabinet in vector graphics. And I think... Let me Google it real quick.
Oh god, now you got me thinking of 50 Hertz Star Fox. Oh god, the Super... that game was already slow. Good. I mean, to be fair... you know, I bet you European players are like just much better at the games than everybody else that plays at 60 hertz, because you guys play at a slower frame rate, which means you have more time to react to shit.
Okay, I found it. It's just called Star Trek the arcade game.
Oh, okay. I was thinking too hard about that.
I know, right? It's a sit-down cabinet with knobs and buttons on the side of the chair. So it's really weird. Let me find a photo of it.
Yeah, very unorthodox the way it sounds. Yeah, man. To go back to John's video, and I mean, but I always had this feeling for a long time. Like when I first learned that, like the hertz of games, or at least electronics in Europe and other countries outside of the United States, was at a different capacity, and that caused games to run slower. You know, I catch footage of like Sonic and other games, and like the very idea of playing the game at that speed is unbearable. Because,
well, if I recall, with Sonic 1, it's also the sound was also
slowed down too. Yeah, it's like you're legit playing the game in slow motion, and just the very idea of growing up with that version, like, I can't imagine it. Like, I cannot process playing the game like that. At the same time, though, that's only because I grew up with 60 hertz. Like, 60 hertz is standard here. But it's also like, I mean, to anybody here that played games at 50 hertz, pretty much my European audience right now. I mean, how early did you guys learn that the versions of the game that you're playing are running at a slower speed than what was considered like the standard globally? Rob says, honestly, much later. Well, Tom says, as early as 1990. I believe that. Many years later, because I didn't care. You see, that would drive me insane. Because to me, if there's like a faster version, or at least a version of the game that I know is where that has a speed that was intended to be faster, I have to play the game as originally designed.
I figured about the difference between back in the day with ROM, how some ROMs would be PAL.
Yeah.
And I think it was specifically with Sonic 1 using the Kega Fusion emulator. No, it wasn't Sonic. It was Mega Man The Wily Wars, because the only English ROM at the time was just the European version. So it ran slow as shit.
John, when I went back to play Sonic 1 years ago and switched off the whole Hertz thing, I thought I was slow because my Genesis got old. Oh my god, my console's dying. What's happening? No, it's because you're playing in the original version. It's like, this is not original. You're lying. You know, but you say that though, and I remember, I think that was probably my first exposure to PAL versions of the game too, because during my emulator high, I would just get ROMs from wherever. I don't give a shit where it came from. As long as it plays the game, I don't really care. And I think my first exposure to that was Yoshi's Island. I had the PAL version of that for some reason, and I'm playing the game, and it's like, it's slight, but I was like, something's wrong. Like, this is not the way this works. Zyphos Gaming, did you have a backlog of these videos after the VODs expired to catch up on? Yes, I upload these videos to my archive channel when the playthrough is finished. So right now I have all of these streams on a drive that I set to my local recordings. But the rule of thumb is that I don't upload the videos at all until the playthrough is finished. You're all just cowards. Okay, but why do you turn off the comments of those videos? Because the stream archive is strictly a dumping ground. If you want to interact with me or stuff like that for those playthroughs, then catch them live. That's basically it. Because like, I made this pretty clear cut in like when I made the channel. I'm not, if I left comments on, I'm not reading them. Like, I'm just like that. It is a secondary channel in its purest definition, where I'm just uploading videos for you guys to catch up on if you guys miss the live stream. That said, like, I'm not going to read the comments because I'm just not going to have the time to read all those for like a shitload of re-uploads. So why bother? So I just disable the comments. If you want to have any sort of
commentary, and why does he sound like an asshole?
If you want to have interaction like that, I heavily recommend that you catch these live when you can. You know, because that, to me, that's the entire point. What if the person lives in Antarctica? How will they catch your streams live? I mean, if there's reception in Antarctica, I feel you have more problems on your hand than trying to catch a live stream. Certain early Genesis PAL games were just reskinned NTSC ones, so you can take the cart and the work at full speed on the NTSC machine. The copy of Sonic 1 Spider gave you some time ago will run the same as the original one. You did this. Really? Okay. Would this stream play at 50 hertz if it was in the 90s? If I could stream at all in the 90s, I think that'd be something pretty remarkable.
It was easy. Just hijack a TV studio.
Yeah. Just point a camera at a television screen. Get all, like, mid-2000s YouTube. Jade Zephyria, yes, this is the original Dragon Quest. Like, this is the first iteration of Dragon, because this game got re-released to hell and back. And, you know, if you're going to play the original Dragon Quest, you're probably better off just playing those adaptations, because they lower experience thresholds, enemies are not such a kick in the dick, and it's just a smoother experience of a really old RPG.
Yeah, you're better off playing the Game Boy Color versions and above.
Yeah, and Super Nintendo, I think, too. Because this game, I think, like, the first 3 games were re-released for the Super Nintendo. Like, it got like a Super Mario All-Stars treatment.
Yep. There were separate releases, but yeah.
But I'm playing the very first iteration of Dragon Quest because I are an old-school gamer that is really stubborn.
Back in my day, we didn't have save states.
And we hated it. Well, I hated it anyway. Ooh, nice critical. Look at that one shot, that motherfucker. When does Classic Johnny end and Modern Johnny begin? I would say the year that I shaved my head. Yeah, Classic John is Wawa Mustache John without the hat. God, I hate the way I look. back in those days. But you know, it was a necessity.
So there must be a West Coast thing, but what the hell is Wawa? I
know
it sounds weird.
It's
but...
no, I mean that's perfectly valid, dude. It's a delicatessen. It's basically a chain delicatessen.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know what do you have over on the West Coast?
7-Eleven.
So yeah, it's basically a more personalized 7-Eleven,
Okay.
more wholesome atmosphere instead of like, man, I hope a rat didn't eat this hot dog sort of atmosphere.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers who are in the East Side, and they mention a lot. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Sheets is not better, Spark. Get out of here. Sheets is the Western PA Wawa. That's not Wawa because they don't have Wawa. Wawa's too good for Pittsburgh. Unless it's 7-Eleven from Japan, apparently they could be quite fancy. I need examples of this. I need like examples of the super fancy 7-Eleven.
If I recall, I think 7-Eleven is owned by a Japanese company, so...
Yeah, I believe 7-Eleven is Japanese, isn't it?
I think so.
Best version of Dragon Quest 1 to play one with good sprites. You have to... Well, they, Triforce says mobile version. FA56. Hey,
which is on sale right now on Android.
Oh, cool. How much? Out of curiosity.
Because there's a Square Enix sale right now on Android, so...
Oh, cool. Apollo Master, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Trios, I missed your sub too. Sorry about that. And JJ. Personally, I feel Rise of Skywalker is easily the worst of the bunch. At least the prequel trilogy has a few second graces, and the comment just kind of cuts off. Oh, hell, maybe I can click on that. The sequel trilogy just has Adam Driver. Adam Driver's a great actor, though.
Thirst for him is real.
But yeah, I appreciate the resub trios, and Apollo Master and Top Dog.
Right now, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are $3, and Dragon Quest 3 is $7.
Okay. Pretty budget.
Oh no, I was wrong. Dragon Quest is $2. Linky's muted. I don't know what's up.
Oh, maybe he's just getting his mic situated. Hey Mario, thank you for the bits. I've been subbed for 2 years. Okay, cool. Thank you. Disney Star Wars, at least. We have Mandalorian and Clone Wars. Hey Johnny, I don't mean to sound too shaken. I shouldn't just happen by my house. I'm sure I'm fine. Well, I mean, keep it cool. Keep your head low. And you should probably stop watching the stream and just keep an eye on things, like outside. You know, just to be a little more alert to your surroundings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's I feel that is that's more important right now. Please stay safe.
It's never fun living in a bad neighborhood. That's for sure.
I feel that. I've had my number of pretty fucking shitty neighborhoods. Have I watched Clone Wars? No. I'm not really interested in spin-offs and side stories. Even though I hear Clone Wars is really good.
Have you watched the animated Clone Wars?
No, I've not watched the animated one or the 3D one.
Ooh, East LA. Yeah, I've been there.
Someone trying to shoot away the COVID again.
Linky, are you here yet? I'll take that as a no.
John, I'm a level 21 Conjurer in Final Fantasy XIV. What's the easiest way to level up to be a white mage? Well, you can't be a white mage until you're level 30. And, hey Linky, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
we can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear us, though.
I cannot hear you guys.
Okay, you should
There's
probably get that situated. Anyway, Jade was talking about earlier. You can't be a white mage until you're at least level 30. And then you can get the jobs done to become a white mage. Best way to level up? I mean, it's super fucking easy to level up early in 14. Especially if you move to like a preferred server or world. You get this like road to 60 buff, and from what I hear, the experience gains are obnoxiously high.
Yeah,
So,
I still can't hear you.
No, can't hear you. We can hear you. You should probably just exit, like, reset Discord, Linky. But you can't hear us, so that kind of just fell on deaf ears.
I hear you, man. No one remembers Fonzie. Fucking right now, my wife is trying to beat Alexandra with her friend because she just started playing.
Yeah, it's just that I'm getting so little experience from killing things. Well, if you're just farming ads from, like, in the overworld field, Jade, that's the wrong way to go about it. You gotta be doing dungeons. Like, you gotta...
Dungeons,
Levs, and Fates. I would say dungeons.
Grind Sastasha as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, no, level 21, he can do Halatali. He can do... he's the 1,000 Malls of Totorak. Have fun with that one. That dungeon's boring. Yeah, if you haven't done dungeons yet, you should be doing dungeons, Jade. And if you're healing, then the most like if you're doing healing that early, then focus on just doing your job normally. Is like making sure that the party's topped off. For the love of God, though, like do me a favor. Like please, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Don't be the healer that tops the tank off after they take 10 points of damage.
There we go.
Overheal.
The tank
Overheal.
will be fine if they take a few hits. And if they're not using cooldowns, you call the tank out or you don't heal them.
And they get reported for not healing.
Too often I feel like I get it. I'm gonna be I practice a little leniency because I understand that if your role as a healer, you want to heal. I get that. But you don't need to keep casting Cure or Cure 2 after the tank takes one smack. It's like, it's fine. The tank can take a few hits. It's cool. Also, if nobody needs to be topped off at the moment, you do have some offensive utility. You got Arrow. That's your dot. Damage over time. And you also have Stone. Cast those if nobody needs to be healed. Don't just stand there and do nothing. Again, nothing that drives me fucking insane. It's like, oh, it must be nice just standing there and doing fuck all.
Johnny, you would not like me healing then.
No, man.
Because honestly, I hate healing with a passion.
Man, I was doing everything in my power earlier. I was actually doing roulette earlier today, and I was running into this stupid black mage. That thing's like, fire 3. 3 is more than 1. I'll just spam fire 3. like over and over again. I was like, no, it's not how it works.
Where's my MP?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You have potions. It's fine.
Oh my god, this new headphones are amazing. Also, hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How was your day?
Does the Nintendo Lite comes with the Nintendo Switch? Or can the Nintendo Switch come with Switch Lite?
Yeah, with a nice price of $299 US.
Are they still playing? Are they still getting scalped?
No, people just don't understand. Like, hey, the Switch Lite is actually a Switch itself.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so you're getting customers that don't. Oh.
Yeah, they're like wondering, does the Switch come with the Switch Lite?
Mm.
Which
I mean, you can say yes, technically.
With a nice asking price of $300.
Yes. $299 US.
Yeah. Also, you gotta love it when you thought you were supposed to have the day off, and then you realize, oh shit, I was supposed to go to work today.
Oh god, that's the worst fucking. You know that's like a step below those nightmares / dreams where you still think you're in school, and you slept past the whole semester, and then for some reason,
25 years old.
for some reason, you show up to the final class.
They all look at you and be like, this is adult?
Yeah, for the record, fucking despise those dreams. I still get them today, and you're never aware if it's a dream until you realize, wait a minute, I graduated. What the fuck is this shit?
Experiment, yes you can play Skyrim on the 360. You just take a pair of scissors and you just cut around the disc. Simple as that, come on.
New Switch XL? No, man, I don't really think we need a bigger Switch.
What they really need to do is fix the online.
I would like that's Nintendo in a nutshell, though, let's be real.
Yeah.
I want a more powerful Switch. I want a Switch Pro. I have nightmares about going in on my off days and not making overtime. Hey man, I still get dreams that I'm still working, like my former retail jobs, like Wawa, Burlington Coat Factory, Rita's Water Ice. I get those on occasion.
God, I've heard horror stories from Burlington.
Burlington. Well, I worked stock in Burlington Coat Factory. I did not work register and all that. I wasn't trained. I didn't want to be there, so I applied for stock and I got the. I was lucky to be a part of a Burlington Coat Factory that was getting ready to open. So like for the first few weeks, we didn't even take customers. We were just getting everything situated in terms of layouts and the design of the store, and that was fun. And then we finally opened the store, and I was hanging out in the back and taking care of delivery trucks. But you know, that job fucked me.
Yeah, my friend Dolphin works cashier, and he hates it to this day.
I mean, but that's to be fair, that's retail in general, though. Like any sort of like, well, working the register in retail specifically, I should say. You know, because you meet all kinds of people, for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I mean, and you sometimes you meet some people that are really wholesome, that are, you know, the usuals. Like you know, when I worked at Wawa, you know, my favorite shift to work during that time was morning, because we get all the usuals around that time, and they're like the loveliest bunch of folks you could possibly meet, because they know the ins and outs, they know what's up, and I love them for that. And then you register in an overnight shift was probably the worst. Second shift is close, because that's middle of the day. You get lunch rush, and then you get those that just came out of school or just came out of work. They're frustrated, they're exhausted, that sort of thing. At the very least, like after hours, you know, people were drunk, but then again, those also brought their own problems.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have no music in the background. I hate this awkward silence.
I think every retail employee in some way has a horror story to take home from them. No doubt. Sir Sondox. No doubt in my mind, everybody here that works retail has some sort of story to tell.
Oh, I got plenty.
Yeah, so do I. I shared some of them already. But the big one that I got a death threat. because I accidentally brushed someone's feet with a broom. But I mean, Jesus.
What's this? You're cleaning my shoes,
Jesus
you
Christ.
motherfucker. I'm gonna watch you.
Next time I see you, I'll blow your fucking head off. Though that was pretty much what you said verbatim. And thank God there was a cop in
there. Yeah. I get those dailies because people are just unimpressed with our prices and our trade-in values.
I am unimpressed with this price. You will die. Midnight tonight. Well, thank God. Joke's on you. We close at 9.
And then I put up my death note basically like, bitch, I know your name.
Sign here. Awesome. I'll see you tonight.
Bug53, I can only assume notalwaysright.com is retail stories about how the customer is done. I mean, yeah, by the way, fuck that saying. For the record, customer is always right. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not. I understand that sometimes you have to keep things to a professional level when unruly customers are giving you shit. At the same time, though, some unruly customers try to get away with a lot of disgusting shit. And I feel, as a human being, it is your job to call them out right then and there. And if your boss gives you shit, you have a heart-to-heart with them, as I've had to a handful of times. Because most of the time, from my experience, most of the time, and this may not apply to everything, but your boss will understand if the customer was being, like, really fucking, like, disgusting or trashy.
Yeah, it's possible. Also, I'm sorry for laughing about that. I could have already said something completely different.
No, what?
You got to give your boss a hard on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought you said that.
To make sure to keep your job, you give them a blowy. Seduce them.
And that's how you climb the ranks.
Yeah.
Huh. And I thought it was just through hard working and blood.
No.
And tears.
Congratulations.
No, there's tears, but not the one did you expect.
Sorry. Like I said, I had a very good nap at work today.
How's it feel to sleep on the job and get paid?
It feels wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you for asking.
I get paid for my 6 hours a week now.
That attack just fucking miss. Oh my god. If your manager is an asshole, call the police.
Or call HR. It's much easier.
Yeah, human resources is probably a better bet.
Sir, that's an HR call right there.
Yeah. Don't pick up the phone.
Oh man, I love you, Coco.
I think you can only call the union if you properly unionized in the first place. Or get HR to call the police.
Hey, I'm Go Drink.
I don't have a vendetta, LO mates. It's more like I have some pretty unpleasant memories working retail. At the same time, like, if for whatever reason, like, YouTube doesn't pan out or Twitch doesn't pan out, and I have to go back to Wawa or some other form of retail, it's not the end of the world, because I didn't really mind my job at Wawa. Like, working overnights, taking care of deliveries, and, you know, just making sure that the store is in tip-top shape, and I had somebody with me if I had to work deli, because I fuck working deli alone. Then, you know, it was 8 hours of my time spent, earn a steady check, keep myself active, because I'm moving about all over the place. You know, it's like, it's not the end of the world if I have to go back. I don't want to go back. But I'll deal with it.
How to keep your job.
Yeah, man, don't burn bridges unless they fucking deserve it. Don't burn bridges.
Me, Little Caesars. Yeah, don't do that. No, I burned that bridge because there's no way. I just don't want to go back there now.
Yeah. I have to make it impossible.
Yeah, even though I still like talk with like the store owner out there because he's actually a nice dude. It's just I don't want to deal with kids anymore, and I like my job at GameStop, and I have no reason to quit that job.
That's funny. I was like, I don't like dealing with kids, but I like my job at GameStop.
Hey,
well, then
kids,
again, maybe you don't deal with a lot of kids at GameStop. You deal with a
okay,
lot of parents.
Allow me to kind of like elaborate. I don't have to deal with teenagers just like coming from high school, coming straight to my workplace and dealing with their kind of drama because it's like, I don't care. Get to work, please.
Yeah.
Again, you deal with a lot of parents though.
Yeah, but those I could be like, here's customer support, goodbye.
I mean, are we getting to a point where it's not as bad as, like, say, 10, 15 years ago, where that was a joke? You get a lot of grandparents of kids who are completely fucking oblivious to, like, can I get Mario on the Xbox? Sort of thing. Now, granted, I'm not saying they're completely gone. I know there's still cases of that. But a lot of parents today are around our age, or at least my age at the very least, you know, in their lower to mid-30s, who grew up with a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo.
Or at least are aware of it.
Or at least are aware of it, you know? Where not every Pokemon is a Pikachu. Or a Jigglypuff.
So I'm looking through my old messages and I found a story from my job.
Oh,
So
by all
this
means.
was back in January. So during the holiday rush, the hot item, and I used to work electronics, so the hot item of the year was AirPods.
Oh, God.
During Black Friday, we lost about 23 in our inventory.
But
But our
lives. We lost a lot of good men that day. Continue on.
After working Black Friday, I felt like I died that day. But in our system is linked to the website, so our inventory wasn't properly done. So it showed we had 23 AirPods in our system.
Oh.
We did not. We were sold out 2 months ago.
Oh, no.
Oof.
And then but your website says you guys have 23, and then I have to explain to them the inventory. They leave. 5 minutes later, someone from another department comes in and is like, hey, you guys have AirPods. Rinse and repeat.
For the entirety of that day.
Man,
For the
that-
entirety
that-
of the month, because I think it took 2
Oh
months
my
to fix
God.
our inventory.
Oh my god, you just reminded me.
I would like to order
Hey,
a
you-
Super Mario Brothers 4x4 edible style, extra shingles to shimmy and to squeeze, light axle grease to make it cry, burn it, let it swim.
We serve
Sir,
food.
we sell video games
We
here.
sell video games here, sir.
If someone ever did that to me, I would have been like, I'm calling the police.
No, someone threw it to me. Fuck you. I like SpongeBob too, but fuck you.
Granted, if it's like someone I know, I'll be like, all right, get back here.
Oh god, Black Friday this year will be something if not canceled. Fuck Black Friday. I hope it's canceled.
I hope so too.
People get really fucking stupid during Black Friday.
For me, I'd just be like, yep, Black Friday. Another day for me, because last Black Friday was probably the worst I've ever worked there, because my coworker had literally the day before got a very bad cut on his arm, so he had to literally go to the hospital the day of Black Friday, and it was supposed to be me, him, and a new person who cannot touch the register, as well as my boss. The thing is, around 6 o'clock, that's when the Walmart was open across the street from us. So
Oh,
we're like,
God.
all right, we're gonna go dead. And my boss, he got there like 2 hours before, and he was starving. So I'm like, hey, dude, go grab something from McDonald's. I'll pretty much clean up house here, because our store, it was completely empty. It's like, all right, it's time to clean up, recuperate a little bit, clean up the store a little bit, and get ready for the second wave. He's like, all right, I'm out. Bye. 6:01, I'm like, hey, can you go ahead and get the walls cleaned up while I'll take care of the back counter? She just basically does all that for me. The next thing you know, a flood of people just starts walking to GameStop, and I'm like, and remind you, my coworker, she cannot touch the register because she's a seasonal. So it's just me by myself right now.
So you got
I'm sitting
someone
down
who's
there,
not-
Grab the games for them. Grab the games for them. How may I help you? How may I help you? I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going as fast as I can. Luckily for me, these are probably the most kind-hearted people I've ever seen on Black Friday.
Okay, so you lucked
But
you
it
lucked
was-
out in that way.
Yeah, I lucked out with the amount of people I had there.
What, oh wait, but a seasonal temp, I'm assuming is what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Someone that
Basically, they're-
someone that wasn't trained fully.
Yeah, we didn't train her fully, even though we did hire her on.
And she
because
was working Black Friday.
Yep.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, it was a train wreck for all of us. I mean, to be fair, like, I handled it as best as I could, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, I got through that whole entire line before my boss got back, and I was like, and my boss came in, he's like, hey, y'all been busy? I'm like, no, we've been dead.
I am currently wanted for murder. In fact, I shouldn't be on this stream right now.
Yep, I will be right back.
Someone's knocking on my door.
Speaking of murders, No, I was just watching a fucking video on YouTube about some murders that happened in Texas back in the 90s. And lo and behold, the video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh.
It was the most weirdest shit. Like, all right, 3 teenagers murdered in a yogurt shop.
But first,
Let me talk about my sponsor, Raid Shadow Legend.
but before we
The video
talk
was
about
interesting,
that,
but it was
we need
like,
to talk
such...
about parallel universes.
But God, it was such a mood shift because it's like
Oh my
three
god.
teenagers dead at a yogurt shop. But first, here's Raid Shadow Legends. I'm like,
Raid Shadow Legends is the hottest MMO on mobile devices right now.
I left my Switch outside.
oops.
What?
It's raining.
Oh,
I was
God.
out of my
Is
car,
it
Out
okay?
my car.
Oh, in your
Oh.
car. Okay, they just left it out. It's just hanging out there with the flower.
We get some fresh air.
Yeah, it needs to go out and stretch. Do you have a link to that video by any
Yeah.
chance?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll find it.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking. Explain it again, Fonz.
So I was watching a video. I was just like out of nowhere watching a video about like a murder that happened back in Texas in the night, and then out of nowhere, at the very beginning, is like three teens caught dead at a yogurt shop. But first, here's my sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm like, what? The video itself was pretty good, but like
Yeah,
just seeing.
But it's like that. It was a very fucking severe whiplash.
Fucking kidding me?
Well, we're trying to be sponsored by Lily's Garden.
I found it.
I
I
have
found
no
the video.
idea what Lily's Garden is, Mark. It's your boy, Raid Shadow Legends.
There's
I said it before, and I probably said it in the beginning of last session, but I did get another email.
Oh my god. How many of those are gonna get a day?
Until I say I'm not fucking interested. I'm just honestly, I'm just observing at this point.
How many more can I get in a week?
By the way, both he did a second part of the video, and it's also sponsored by Raid. By the way.
Oh my god.
Like, it's just a horrible story of how 3 teenagers got murdered. But this is like but first, a note from our sponsor. It's just like, wow.
You're about to
dude.
die, and the last thing you hear is this death was brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Sounds like something from a scary movie.
Just like Grim Reaper greeting you. It's like, did you like the Grim Reaper whispers into your ear? Did you know Raid Shadow Legends is the hottest MMO on mobile devices right now? Then you just die because you don't want to deal with it anymore. My brother is cooking something upstairs and it smells fucking delicious.
He must
Get more
die.
bacon.
God damn it. I didn't know he was up already.
Oh, does Mark always sleep in like super?
Oh, he works night shift.
Oh, okay.
What if he wanted to go to heaven, but God said he needed to be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? Alright, I guess I'm going to hell then, because I'm not doing it.
I need a good pet.
Raid Shadow Legends. There's your password.
Shh, Fonzie, I can't tell. I can't use that.
Go. Now I gotta change it. Raid Shallow Bellins? Sellouts go to hell. Just like the last thing God says to you, man, why do you gotta be such a narc? And then kicks you off of the cloud.
God, why are you so angry? I spent $5 on Raid.
Hey man, that cool. like he's not angry. He's just like, hey man.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he's afraid of Raid Shadow Legends?
Steve Buscemi back in Spy Kids, if I recall.
Oh yeah, this is the track from Final Fantasy VII. I forgot about that.
Which one?
The motorcycle.
Oh, okay. A crazy motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I legitimately forgot that I actually have the soundtrack that came with the special edition with this game.
I have the glorified postcards that came with the Walmart release.
Oh, I got those too, but mine says I'm a micromanager.
Siege Daylight current events.
Experiment, what did I do now?
God stays in heaven because he's playing Raid Shadow.
Ow! Fight a bone, fight a bone. Alright, I gotta take these arm things off my chair.
Shows how much character you have to turn them down. Most people would sell poison to kids if they're paid enough. You're better than I am. Well, okay, well, let me write that name down. Lunchbox X71XX. In case I hear of a recent poisoning of children, I know who to blame.
Jesus.
But no. I appreciate it, but it's like I'm at a point in time where I need to do sponsorships just to pay the bills because again, YouTube CPM is so low at the moment, and it's gonna be like that for the foreseeable future. I don't know when I don't know when things are gonna go back to normal. You know,
In September, according
it's
to
really,
PMG.
yeah, it's really. Oh my god. Why? I don't know why they just didn't cancel it. Because
I guess they're really dead on set, like getting this too many games out this
yeah,
year.
but like every other major convention of the year, like cons way bigger than TMG, just straight up fucking canceled, and it's like my friend Catherine said it best. It's like that's being optimistic. I was like, yeah, it really is. Because we don't know when this is gonna start like easing up at all, and to me, it's not going to ease up until we get like confirmation of a vaccine, and when we can safely and easily distribute that vaccine, and that's not going to be for like another year at the very least, you know. So is it really such a wise thing to have a convention at all this year? And the answer is no. So I mean, I might just cancel my appearance, really. I know Scott the Walls canceled his appearance. I think 2 others that I've been in contact with canceled their appearances, and it's like, you know, that's fine. Like, that's the safe decision to make.
If anything, probably like enough like cancellations. I'd be like saying, we're just like,
Yeah.
yeah. But if things do get like better like throughout this year, I'm gonna have more than enough money to go this year.
Yeah, but I'm not betting on things getting better by September. Because this is not something that just goes away. Especially in the United States.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to go too deep into it, because it's just a whole fucking clusterfuck of a big-ass can of worms. But this ain't gonna go away in the United States anytime soon, just because of how everything is just being mismanaged. Oh, God.
Again, I can't really say much on the situation that I'm in, but since, you know, being an undocumented immigrant here in America, this whole thing not working really hurts me specifically, because I don't get any benefits outside just from what I earn. But I can't earn anything since where I work is closed down until further notice.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, you got more than enough savings, right, to keep you.
This day and age?
After a payment from tomorrow, I'll have $6 in my bank account.
Hey,
Buy an
still
ice
get
cream.
something from the dollar menu.
So, McDonald's, right? Your treat.
Well, if you ever need help with anything, just let me know. 'Cause
I'll see.
honestly,
I usually tend to do well in stressful situations like these.
IDK chip? I'm assuming IDK stands for I don't know. Is that your guess? Some coming down? Because a lot of people have varying opinions on when this whole thing blows over. This term will be my last picture when it ends. All I know right now is that I'm just gonna go by what actual health professionals and doctors are saying. I'm not relying on anybody else telling me anything else, because everybody else in this line of work wants the country so desperately to open back up in a time where that is just not the safe thing to do. You know, because they're bored. They're bored that it's only been a month of them doing absolutely nothing in their house, and they just have to get their fucking hair done or to get their non-essential businesses open because they don't know how to deal with something like this. And you know what? Look, I get it. Like, nobody likes being cooped up. Cabin fever is very much a real thing, and this is not something we normally have to deal with. I understand it is a very different scenario situation of what we're used to. At the same time, buck up. Fucking deal with it. Because this is something that affects everybody. Globally, not just the country, not just your neighbors, everyone. Everyone is affected by this. It is not just you, so stop being a selfish son of a bitch about it. And
You got other things to do around the house. Get some hobbies. Just try new things.
and right now,
Talk to your kids.
we're at a point where all of those dipshits, all of those old heads, all of those guys who have no interest in their fellow neighbor or the common citizen, they just want things to go back to normal because they don't want this to be like that. So they're willing to believe or say anything to say, no, we can start opening things up back again. We can totally do this and that. And I was like, no, you cannot. What is your basis off that? What is your reasoning? What is your base? Do you have actual scientific medical evidence that it is okay to do this right now? And most of the time, it's not. They're just going by what everyone else is saying because everybody else, it's so fucking hearsay, he should bullshit. And it's like, no. I'm just going to wait until I get official confirmation from actual doctors and nurses that Tom Hanks's miracle blood is ready to go and make a vaccine. Because that's the thing that's going, right? It's like I hear that like they're asking.
Yeah, they're in the process.
They're in the process of
testing.
making a vaccine. I know one of the donators of blood is Tom Hanks because he contracted the virus. Like
him and his wife have
him and his wife contracted, so they want to use. I don't know why him specifically. I mean, because Tom Hanks is a magical person, though. Let's be fair.
All aboard the Polar Express and the cure.
When you go to sleep and then you wake up in the actual Polar Express, huh?
Where am I? Who are you? I want to go home.
Damn, man, imagine that though. Like, cause Tom Hanks is already considered like the most wholesome actor in the entire world. Imagine if he was the one responsible for curing COVID-19. I mean, I already love the man, cause I love Tom Hanks, but imagine that shit. Like, this is our own personal Jesus Christ.
What was the latest movie he was actually in?
Toy Story 4.
Like animated movie, yeah. Live action?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tom Hanks is fine sour.
No,
Would
like,
he?
if it turns out that Tom Hanks' blood will be the cure for everything, they'll definitely make a movie of that.
Yes, they will.
Oh god.
That man is set for life. Like, he's already set for life now, but it's like, make him president of the world.
Hi everybody, I'm Tom Hanks.
And I played G in Street Fighter
play-
5.
But first, I want to talk about Raid. No, don't say it, Tom.
Oh yeah, speaking of Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid,
Oh, Ian.
incesticide.
Ah! Hang on, I'll post this in the chat. But Ian has been on top of these like images edits. But enjoy.
I've had enough celebrities as presidents in my lifetime. So Psionics, that's fair.
Yeah.
Not gonna argue against that.
It's really weird when the most highest achievement that our president has was being inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh god, you're right. How did I forget? What the fuck? God. What a time to be alive.
Are you sure about that?
No.
No.
Like Mr. McMahon for saving Mr. President.
Man. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow besides stream.
I'm also streaming tomorrow.
Oh my god. No, because originally I thought I was supposed to work tomorrow, but instead I had to work today. So
Pull it looks like I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
yeah, pretty much. But hey, at least I got the time off tomorrow, and then I can go ahead and take care of Ickertoot City and probably 2 other gyms tomorrow in my Pokemon Heart Gold streams over at twitch.tv/goodkeylinky. You guys go check it out.
Do you
mean,
think
what?
the president also gets raid emails? Maybe. Anthem here. Oh, let me read this real quick. I just hope that COVID is done with in the next few months. I really want to go outside for a walk, and the only experience I've had with outside is going grocery shopping right now. I'm having problems sleeping, so thinking maybe walking. Like, well, Anthem, you can go outside and walk.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's
Is it
only,
long?
it's only, it's only
Social-
something when,
social areas.
yeah, it's when you're going shopping, when you're around a lot of people at once. You can go out and walk. You can still hike. You can go to the woods. You can go to up a mountain or some other shit. You know, you can
Yeah.
still go outside.
But if you kind of like live in a rural area, usually what I like to do is like, oh, it's 2 a.m. time for my late night walk.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to walk during the daytime unless you really love the sun a lot, which. I
Make
hate
sure
the
you
sun.
hit a cat. Hey, Tevin, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. Shadow Legends. Hashtag subscribe to WeDude83. No, don't do that. Give me your money.
Well, I guess I have to now.
Is Pat live?
He's watching you.
Oh. So I guess no. Hey,
Where
Yuma
is he?
Crafter, thank
He's
you
right
very
outside his
much.
house.
See, Yuma could have gave that money to Pat. Gave it to me instead. Hey, finally got up to something at my favorite streamer YouTuber. Keep it up, man. Hope you have a good day. Hope you
You're
have
a
a good day,
YouTuber?
everyone. Thank you, Yuma. Thank you very much. Yes, I am. I review games on YouTube.
Well,
.com/LongComedyDonny.
Yeah, so, do you think we might get another stimulus check next month?
Another one? No. I feel that right now their way of stimulating the economy is just giving us one, because that's what it was beforehand. Because what there was a stimulus check given to us. I think it was 2008, 2009, after the housing market crash, and that was one time, to my knowledge, because I think I was too young to get a check back then.
If only if I was 2 years older, I would.
I just remember the Call of Duty expansion pack being called the stimulus package.
Yeah. I thought it's. Oh no, I just.
Sorry about that. Had something go
I'm
down
afraid of
wrong.
catching COVID mainly because my father, he's not just an old bastard, he doesn't send my 2-year-old nephews who isn't ass already. I mean, it's valid to want to stay indoors because you don't want to risk anything, but at the same time, you can only... COVID's not airborne. You know, you got it from contact, whether it's from human-to-human contact or... let me see, if... Say... the bacteria of the disease got into a surface. Like was it the lasting effects of COVID on a surface if it's not cleaned or sanitized like 3 days. Yeah, don't go off and lick any toilet seats. Says
God.
Trios.
Jesus Christ.
We're looking at you, Florida man.
Yeah. Stop doing it, Florida man. How much money does the government plan on spending to support those who can't work? 1 penny. John, would you be using Raycon if they didn't sponsor you? I'm on the fence of getting a pair myself. I mean, I can't. At the end of the day, I can't convince you what you do with your money. And Raycon is one of those things that I didn't know about until I was on for a sponsorship deal. And sometimes that's how I get exposed to certain products, is that they offer an opportunity and I take it. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually not bad.
If you want good headphone recommendations, Audio Technicas are always the way to go.
They're expensive though.
They are, but they're so fucking worth it.
I mean, yeah, they're quality. Just know that you're spending a bit to get them.
If you're looking for wireless ones, I hear the Sony WMX somethings are pretty. They're under $200 now, so.
I'm about to say that. I just recently got a new pair of headphones, the Steel Arc. The Steel Series Arc. 3s, and they are pretty good. Though, unfortunately, I can't use it wirelessly thanks to this microphone I have, so yeah. But they are nice whenever you just want to walk around and do stuff. Also, I cannot hear you guys again. Oh my god.
I haven't said
Did I-
anything.
Oh my god, I can't hear anything.
It's fine. One day Link will figure out what we don't to him. So,
There we go.
hey, welcome back. Nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even say anything as you were saying
How
you can't
long
hear us.
did they last stream? They last pretty good. It was just I was getting used to these new headsets or headphones. Granted, I can't hook up a mic to this, but I hate it because it's one of those microphones that gets like right up close to your mouth, and I hate it. Kind of like what Johnny's wearing right now.
Well, this is a Audio Technica broadcast headset.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like this
similar
thing, but it's noisy when I turn my head.
Really?
Yeah, man, you can
Like
hear.
noisy to you or noisy to us?
Oh, and more like you can hear it creak. Like, I'm not sure if it's because of its age, but you can hear the joints shift when I move my head. And it's not so bad when I'm doing like a live stream recording because you have like I have you guys on the game audio to drown it out. But for like audio recordings, for Brain Scratch specifically or SGB, it's more pronounced, and I fucking despise it.
Yeah, I have the combo of PlayStation 4 headset and Rock Band mic.
And they're like duct tape together.
You saw it? Look, it's been working for me since the PS3 era, so
Level up. Courage and wit have served thee well. Thou hast been promoted to the next level. Thy response speed increases by 8. Thy maximum hit points increase by 8. Thy maximum magic points increase by 5. Thou hast learned a new spell. Thank you. Heal more.
Which, there's one more spell you need to get, and I think it's level 20.
It's a 20. I think it's that's hurt more.
Yep.
the path to heal more is literally just say heal more, please. Hey,
Next level is 19,000.
It's another 3,000 experience threshold. So if we were to continue grinding now, it would take us around the same time as we did now. So another about an hour before we get into the next level.
Which means.
But these are but these enemies are like the last tier of enemies to fight outside of the no. I think there's a stronger tier after this. But without going into Dragon
castle.
Lord's castle.
Oh, okay. You want me to see if there's like a town close enough to the next area?
I think if I just go left here.
So how much heal more does? Like all your HP or just like...
Oh, I have no idea.
Let's test this theory. Heal more, just... Heal
I don't really need to use it though because I restore HP just by walking.
Ah, okay. Put your left foot in, you put your left foot back, put your left foot in, put your left foot back. What's he doing, sir? I don't know, he's just walking into space.
Curing disease.
how do we cheese that? Use a treadmill. Oh.
I'm super healthy now. What have I done? I'm invincible when I'm running on the treadmill.
Reminds me that in The Simpsons when Mr. Burns goes to the doctor is like, I'm invincible. No.
No, you have every single disease known to man.
If only one of them goes in, they're gonna ruin them.
Yeah, they call it Three Stooges syndrome.
Excellent.
You're saying I'm indestructible? Well, no, not at all. In fact, even the slightest breeze could indestructible.
Man, is Simpson on Netflix or Hulu?
Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's Disney Plus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
all right, YouTube.
I'm against like having to invest in another goddamn streaming service, but getting access to like the first 10 seasons of Simpsons is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Well, YouTube it is.
John, I'm currently watching the SGB Final Fantasy IV playthrough. I'm liking it so far. It's one of the early LPs, but FF4 is my favorite. Hey, cool. Thank you for tuning in. That was one of the first weekend RPGs we ever did, and that was early SGB, so like my quality is still pretty scratchy. But commentary-wise, I really liked it.
You did the SNES version, correct?
We did the PSP version.
Oh, so you basically got to fight. What was the? It's not the final boss, but it's like one of those secret bosses that you have to go through to the moon cave.
Well, the PSP version was just a prettier version of the GBA version, which had the additional Lunar Ruins dungeon.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
The DS version had the Proto-Babel giant.
Yeah, it was Proto-Babel.
Yeah, that was the DS version.
Which, oh my god, I
Proto-Babel,
hate that fight.
Proto-Babel, you can't, like, well, I think you can only fight it in New Game Plus.
Yep. And you also had to find a very, 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 very rare drop as well.
Well,
Looking at you,
DS
drop.
Remake had Proto-Babel. It also had the other encounter where, like, it was all the Elemental Fiends merged together.
Yep.
I don't think I fought that one. I don't think I've beaten that one. I don't think I've beaten any of the optional encounters in 4DS.
Yeah, that sounds like a stream later on down the road.
Maybe later down the road. I'd rather play Vanilla 4, though, before I play DS4.
Oh, granted, can you actually do that in, like, the Steam version?
What?
Oh, wait, no.
The PS4, the Steam version.
Steam version
the
is
PS
DS version, yeah.
No, I meant the... There was another version of 4 that you can play. I'm trying to remember what it is.
Well, there's...
Where you can fight Proto-Babel and the 4 fiends at once.
Well, there's only the DS version has that encounter.
What am I thinking of?
A Fever Dream.
Yeah, I think you just might be high again, Linky.
No, I think it might have been a ROM hack. Let me double check this real quick.
Oh, if it was a ROM hack, then you could fight anything in that game. Maybe even a giant apple.
Wow, thanks,
Yeah.
Brain.
But
I typed in YouTube and then I'll start looking up for YouTube videos.
DS4 though is such it's a pretty different experience. So if you still want the traditional Final Fantasy IV experience, I can't recommend the PSP version enough. Cause it's basically just like the best version of the game, without it being like the easy mode or the easy type version that like neutered the game.
Okay, yeah, so it is 3DS exclusive because the one I was thinking of was the After Years last one. Where you had to split your party into 3 parties and you had to take on
Right.
this big old giant.
And that was
thing.
before you fought
That's
the,
what I was thinking about.
That
I
was
like,
before you fought
wait
the
a minute.
creator. Yeah,
And
After Years
boy, did the
After Years
plot-
goes places.
But hey, at least you get to fight Gilgamesh, the train.
Yeah, you know what? Final Fantasy 1 did the exact same fucking thing in the PSP
Yep.
Dawn of Souls version. And I was like, I don't know
That did
what
it better.
I don't know what Square's fascination was with that. Like having a part of the having an optional part of the game and post game where you just fight bosses from previous Final Fantasies over and over again.
Why haven't they released Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on Steam yet?
They haven't?
No.
Are those the only 2 missing?
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It's like, hey, how can you not have the first one? The one where you get to play the Goddess of Time, as well as all these wonderful beings at once. I don't know.
Or it could be that one dude on Reddit who did it all as black mages.
Or me as a white mage. By the way, don't play that game with white mages only. Oh god, it sucks, especially when you have Dia as your like starting or starting spell.
It's fine. You have a hammer.
It can do damage, but my god, Dia, like in the early parts of the game, when you're fighting the vampire lords and just vampires and undead enemies in the first dungeon, you can basically clear a house a lot really quickly. It's just the uphill battle is you gotta stay in that area until you reach about like level 20 or 25, because then you have like enough HP and enough magic to kind of just kill everything, or kill enough things until you get your upgraded class to White Wizard, and then you get Holy, and you're basically done with the game. Use Dia? Use Glare. No, Dia is like the only spell that can be original take. You get out of that mindset at 14.
Dia. John, would you say the original Link's Awakening is still playable today? Look for the Switch version and the pricing, so turn me on to grab it. Yeah, I mean, most of my problems with Link's Awakening are personal, and not so much mechanically faulty. I mean, my big problem with Link's Awakening is the system limitations and how it still tries to be a Link to the Past with the amount of items it gives you and the amount of movement it wants Link to do and the size of the map. Well, the size of the screen, I should say. Because it's so small, it's really hard for me personally to navigate through Koholon Island. and because of that, I don't memorize where shit's at, and I have to look at the map a whole bunch. And even then, the map doesn't do much.
Yeah, because you just only have like the little tiny little squares. It's like
Yeah.
between your eyes.
Then there's the Switch version, which is really nice. It's just really expensive.
Yeah, the Switch version
Yeah.
is like the preferred way of playing the game, but yeah, it is also 60 ducks. 60 ducks. So yeah, it's
60 bucks. Yes.
60
60
ducks. Yeah,
ducks.
you gotta get 60 ducks for that. Jesus Christ, I thought $60 was bad. So where the fuck can I get a duck? No less 60 of them.
You get a
Correct.
couple dozen egg, raise them up. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I would say the Switch version at launch should have been 40. That-
I'd say 30.
I mean, I didn't mind 40 because that's how much the prices were for DS games,
Right.
3DS games, and that's what I felt like it should have been.
To an extent, some of them were, not all of them.
I mean,
well,
the
like
Zelda
I
game.
said,
Well,
Zel-
was Link's... I'm trying to think back to when Link Between Worlds was first released.
I think it was.
I could have
40.
sworn it was 35, at the very least.
No, it's 40.
Was it 40? At launch?
Yeah, it was 40 at launch.
Yeah, you have Mr. GameStop here.
Did Linky work at GameStop when Link Between Worlds was out?
I was getting back to GameStop.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, but it was still 40 bucks. But then again, there are also some special edition, like Link to the Past ones, including the 3DS, which I really wanted, but I couldn't get at the time because I was poor. He window shopped at GameStop. Nah.
Yes, it came out of at $40.
Hold on. Experience increased by 37. Alright, let's keep an eye on these experience thresholds to see what I'm earning here.
12 experience points.
That's right. Thank you for the bits. Again,
Hey.
thanks for give me bits. You already gave me the bits earlier for the episode. You don't have to do that. And thus, I have become Death Destroyer. Oh, you did it to snipe the stream boss.
Yeah. Oh, Rich. What seems like a good thing to do tonight?
Eat, shit, and sleep.
I like one of those things.
Man, why would I want to eat shit?
New target to King on Sparkmundo.
Oh, boy.
Actually, are you doing anything else tonight, Johnny?
I have raid tonight.
Okay.
What's up?
Kirby Air Ride?
Go. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I can do that. You busy tomorrow, Plenty?
No. Do you even have to ask, my man? I was gonna stream Metal Gear Solid 2 for a bit, since, April 30th and all.
Something special about it.
You know what, Fonzie? That's more important than Kirby Air Ride. Because we cannot forget April 30th.
I pretty much have all of my footage recorded for Kirby Air Ride, so I'm ready to write the script.
Yeah, because you told me you asked me to, like, hey, can you remind me, like, later after all this sort of stuff happened to you, and to ask you, it's like, hey, just try a multiplayer with, like, people.
Yeah, just maybe like an hour or two.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
How was
get it
Kirby
downloaded.
Air Ride? I hated it at first, and
I hated it.
because I thought to me it had the Sonic Riders problem, where I was confused on what I was doing wrong, but it was kind of the inverse of Sonic Riders, where Sonic Riders was mechanically intensive. Air Rider is very simple, but the issue lies in having everything mapped to one button. Inhaling
A button. You want to use an attack? A button.
A button. If you and that's the thing. You want to use the boost, A button, and it's like, oh boy, and it's like I'm at a point where I kept the difficulty of the enemies at level 3, and I was playing the first course over and over again just to get an understanding, and I was constantly getting 4th place. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I am not sure of what I'm doing wrong in the game. besides like having problems adjusting to everything being on one button, because it's like I want to boost, I want to drift, but if I press the A button when I'm not over a boost, you know, then I charge up, but that slows me down significantly. It's like, when's the proper time to boost when I'm not making a sharp turn, or do I not boost at all when I'm you know, racing? And it was very confusing. And then but later when I started unlocking more vehicles, then it got a little better, because at that point I was starting to find my preference to certain vehicles. And the one vehicle I really liked the most was, I think it was the Swerve Star, where that's the one that can't turn at all, but it goes from 0 to 100 lickety split. And the only way you can turn is by like holding down the A button and readjusting your left and right movements.
Yeah, the green triangle one, right?
Yeah, it's really awkward and super precise, but I really liked it.
Let me just make sure Dolphin's up to date, so that way I can do this later.
I mean, Linky, I already have it saved in my computer. We're all good now.
Oh, you want to do it through your end?
I mean, it worked with Four Swords.
Oh yeah. You want to play that game tonight?
I mean, I don't mind.
You know?
Again,
Okay.
I got nothing better to do.
Okay.
So I spent about 3-4 hours on Air Ride. I played Top Ride for maybe an hour, because that mode's pretty one and done. And I played City Trial for about 5 to 6. And I see why folks talk about City Trial the most. Like, because I can see that being a really fun time sink, especially when you got like friends playing with you. I don't, for the most part. Especially nowadays, it's like, hey, you want to come by and play some Kirby? It's social distancing. And I was like, you're right.
So might as well do the next best thing. And
Can you do City Trial with LAN, or is that only limited to the regular friends?
Alright, the way that we usually do it, we're basically going to kind of like do it like, hey, we're all we're all there at your house, but you're going to be basically taking part of Fonzie screen. It's basically Fonzie screen is a television, but all the audio and stuff is going to be coming from his end, but we still get to play. Like, each of us will actually have a controller on our end.
Yep. Takes about 10 minutes to set up at most.
Okay. Then yeah, we
20
can
minutes if we're
definitely
lucky.
we can do that tomorrow then. I'm not sure what time works. It can't be too late.
11:59 p.m.
PM.
I could probably do like 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow, or 5 or 4. I can do it at 5 o'clock.
I'm in the West Coast, so I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay, 1 a.m. in the morning.
As opposed to 1 a.m. in the afternoon.
Fuck you. I slowly just like, yay. You say 10 minutes, but no.
9 in the afternoon. No, but my general consensus of Air Ride is that it's okay. I will literally play any other racing game besides Sonic Riders before it. Like, to me, it's I liked it more than Sonic Riders, but it's still it doesn't have a lot of lasting power. And it's like, man, like Smash Brothers Brawl took a lot of fucking cues from the design and menus from Air Ride. That's so weird. Like, this is definitely a Sakurai developed product. And yeah, I mean, City Trial is basically just a proto Smash Run, or would you say it's the other way around? Because I mean, it's the same fucking thing. You know, only one's a fighter and one's a racer, so.
Aren't they both the same though?
No, they're not.
It's a fighting racing game.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. Smash is a party game. What was I thinking?
WWE Crush Hour, I remember that. No, to me, the best racing game back in the day for me was Hot Wheels World Race, based on the hit TV show.
I just want to make sure I have my thoughts in order before I inevitably say something that's going to piss off the Kirby community. Which, I mean, that's going to happen anyway. Because Kirby Air Ride was it's an okay game. I don't think it was amazing.
Now Mario Kart Double Dash, on the other hand.
I mean, I would play Double Dash before Air Ride, but I would play any other Mario Kart before going back to Double Dash. Double Dash aged pretty bad for me.
Even the original Super Mario Kart?
Okay. I'd play Double Dash for regular Mario Kart. And maybe 64. But 64 has its perks. Like
It's broken as fuck, and it's fun as hell.
Drifting is much better in 64 than it is in Double Dash. Remember when Matt Pat made a theory that Kirby was a monster and the Kirby community bullied him into not making a part 2?
Oh my god.
Excuse me? That...
Man, you see, that would kind of terrify me, but I've already pissed off the Sonic community. Well, bits of the Sonic community, I should say. I don't want to generalize it as the whole Sonic community, because I know the dickheads that I attract are just are really minor and just really loud.
First, the Sonic community, the Kirby community
Then
next, and
the
then
world.
then Smash.
Christ, man, I swear, like the most diehard Sonic fans are like the most fickle fucking people I've ever met in my life.
That's why I'm not a Sonic fan. Even though I clearly play Sonic games.
I like the Genesis and Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
Listen here, you little shit. The original was so much better than those 3D pieces of shit. And I'm joking.
How much does Heal More cost? I was not looking at the MP cost for that.
It costs 2.
A 2? 2?
Yeah, Pokemon fans got pretty bad these couple of years, that's for sure. They've gotten really loud on Twitter.
What?
The Pokemon fans.
Like, is bring back the national deck still a thing?
I see it every time I see a Pokemon thing gets posted.
Okay. They really need to
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing more Pokemon to the DLC. So shut up. You're never gonna get your Gen 5 remake? Oh,
Stop that. Shut up. Why would you say it's a horrible thing?
because I'm a horrible person. Who plays video games nowadays? Alright.
So what, all you have to do is make the Smash community mad?
I never played Pokemon Sword and Shield. Hello. I have no interest in Generation 8.
You're not missing anything.
So I've heard.
Other than the Corgi Pokemon, yeah, no.
Was it yeah or no?
Yeah, you're not missing
Yeah.
much. I literally just like, oh, cool, that's a Corgi. That is, I love it. Alright, that's cool. That's enough for me.
And God of War.
Alright, everybody's talking about Beta Wooper right now anyway.
Yeah, man, Beta
What
Wooper,
the
that's
fuck
all
is
you
a
need in
Sword
game.
or Shield? When can we get the over-the-shoulder Gen 5 remake? I haven't watched your movie review, and others can input it too. What's your honest opinion about the movie without spoilers? Well, what movie? Are we talking about Sonic? I'm assuming you mean Sonic, because you didn't clarify Sonic in the comment.
Advent Children.
Advent Children? Yeah, what do I think about Advent Children without spoiling it? Well, that's impossible. I can't do that.
The fuck did I watch?
But,
It's basically
I'm
like-
assuming you meant Sonic, Yuma. And, I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled, I really can't talk about it without spoiling.
Oh yeah, it is a Sonic movie. Sonic runs really fast.
The movie, I mean, it was a... I don't know what I would say with it. I would say about it. Like, I saw it, I enjoyed it, and I'm more interested in what the next movie would be about, rather than, you know, thinking the movie in itself was amazing. Because I didn't think the movie was amazing. I thought the movie was just another kid's film, you know? And, to be fair, that's all the movie really needed to be. And it set out to do that, and it succeeded. And that's good. You know, it's good to have Sonic in something that people don't laughably collectively laughed at. I mean, I'll do it, especially if it means for a quick buck. But you know, it's good to have Sonic in something that's not a total fucking dumpster fire. But Again, I can't really go into more of it if you don't want to be spoiled. Although, I don't know. I'm saying if you're trying to hold, I try not to delay that too much because that movie's been out for over 2.5 months at this moment. I mean, it's out digitally right now, and it's physically getting released in I think in a couple of weeks. Speaking of, I have to get an update on the movie giveaway that I'm gonna do with my Twitch subs at some point.
I haven't seen it yet, but my wife said it's okay.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. That's it. It's like that. It's an okay film.
I saw it on Pornhub, and it was probably.
Did you really watch it on Pornhub?
I mean, the whole B movie is on there, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, someone gave me a link to the movie, like, hey, you haven't watched it yet? Here's the link to it. And I'm like, this is Pornhub. And I'm like, okay, this is actually the full movie. All right, I'm gonna make some popcorn and watch this tonight.
But does the movie have ads though? Like, you imagine you're just watching like wholesome Sonic movie content, and then it just cuts to some girl masturbating.
You will nut 10 seconds into this, I swear.
Oh,
most people don't last a minute. Click here to find out why. It's a Sonic movie. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Well, I'm not doing anything else for an hour and a half.
I legit turned my ad blocker on so that way I didn't have any pop-ups or anything like that during the whole entire movie. So I just like full screen, and now I can watch the movie without any interruptions.
Then a customer was saying, "Oh, that player looks familiar."
Next Strife, I will stream Final Fantasy VII Remake at some point. I'm thinking of doing it with my hard mode playthrough.
Before your Kingdom Hearts 2?
No. Because that comes first.
Okay, just like me.
Do we know how strong enemies hit like in the Dragon Lord's castle? Because I know that's like the best place to grind for experience points. It's so fucking weird though. Thinking about that, I'm gonna head to the Dragon Lord's castle to fight Dragon Lord. No, to get stronger and then fight the Dragon Lord.
What's he doing? He's just killing the minions.
He's just killing minions. We'll stop that. We'll stop sending in minions.
I'm personally waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake to finish before the PC starts. Well, about that.
You'll be waiting for a long fucking time.
I'm about to say there, just think of it as the Marvel movies. Basically, you're getting enough for your buck, and then when the next one comes out, it'll be the same thing like that ever again. And then 20 years from now, when the whole entire game, when the final part of the game releases, it's like rewatching the Avengers.
Boy, these graphics suck.
Man, this whole VR thing is not working right. And I don't know if I'll make another Dragon Ball Z fanfic for the next Kingdom Hearts 2. I have to be very, very tired and like 2 hours of sleep if I want to make another fanfic like that ever again.
Was it Tux with that Twitch? If I would grind in the final dungeon if I were you. Well, if you were me, then I'd be you, and then I'd be using your avatar to tell me that I should be grinding here. You can't stop me no matter who you are.
And if he's in there, then we're out here, then he's the sheriff, and then.
Wait a minute. Who did I kill?
Me in a nutshell. Oh god, I remember the DBs.
Jade's for Amusing Duty Finder right now. Wow, level 20 parties really freaking need healing. I mean, you're probably likely bunched up with a bunch of other green leaves, so there's always that risk. Also, another thing, make sure you're properly geared. Like, if you're level 21 or 22, make sure you're rocking item level appropriate accessories and put on accessories in the first place. Because Jesus Christ, I see that way too many times nowadays, especially with early game stuff, is that people put on gear on the left side, but they leave their right side completely neglected.
Oh my god. Hey, Paladin, why aren't you using a shield? Oh, the shield's useless. I just wanted Will to start. Paladin, the shield is very important to you. You can use the whole glamour feature with that. I don't need a fucking shield. Paladin, it's basically half of your DPS and half of your defense. That's a cute.
Why are you not? Nobody reads tooltips.
Because they don't care.
I'm sorry, John. My right side is still level 1. No, you got to fix that immediately, Jade. No.
There is something that you can get. If you want to like learn a little bit more about your classes, there is the
the Hall of the Novice.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Get yourself the brand new ring. That's item level 30. Like, it's a level 1 accessory, but it's item level 30, and it's like +3 to everything.
And extra DPS.
And
or
extra
experience.
Yeah, and you get an experience boost until level 30. But yeah, in terms of your right side, no, get rid of those level 1 stuff. Like get item appropriate stuff. You just go to like a shop in one of the city states.
Okay, Dad.
I'm saying, man, just fucking some people hate you.
I'll do whatever I want. Goes in the dungeon naked.
It's fine. Worst case scenario, it'll be posted on shift post 14. You'll find.
You'll live. No, literally, you'll
Well-
live. Because you're the healer, and they're not.
I'm about to say that those early dungeons, healers can just be like, all right, regen on you, and then I'm just doing the DPS for you.
Yeah, no, level up scholar.
And follow.
Yep, and I'm also leveling up White Mage now, and I hate it.
It's not that bad.
I hate it.
No, why mage is simple.
It's the only healer I decided to level up, that's for sure.
It's my preferred
Yeah,
healer.
yeah, but at the same time, I just hate healing in general.
Oh, I mean, okay.
I'm a reckless son of a bitch. Yeah, I will let
Well,
you
reckless
know
in
right
what
now.
way? I was like, you keep using glare and not heal.
Yes. Like, I focus more on DPSing because as a paladin, as a machinist, as a summoner, as any other DPS class in the game, I'm always doing that. I'm not worried about anybody else unless I need to tether to somebody.
What?
Dragoon.
Why are you spamming Cure 1? I'm waiting for it to proc 2. No! No!
What's
All
that?
right,
You're spamming Medica too a
I'm
lot.
kind
You're
of
the worst
guilty of
healer.
doing that too, but
For me, I was originally a Medica 2 spammer.
oh god,
I
God.
Was. I was.
God, people do that
Because-
nowadays, and it's like,
Wait,
what are you doing?
Pre-medica or post-medica?
Uh,
Pre-pull or post-pull?
Post pull,
Post pull.
but it's like they only use Medica 2 for AOE heals, and it's like, stop. It's like,
But it has a 2 in it, damn it.
but
It gives everybody regen, so that means I can DPS more.
the regens aren't that great, and the potency of the heal itself is not as good as Medica 1.
Fuck you, benediction. That's just Biddy at the start of the fight.
What's the point of Medica? Medica is your AOE heal. That's when you want to heal everybody at once.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, it costs more MP than a regular cure, but it's also like you're not meant to spam it. Unless everybody is in like critical health, they need to get everybody up immediately.
and I'm like, oh, I just gotta gather around for a Cure 3.
Yeah.
And then I started spamming Cure 3 a lot.
Yeah. And then
Take aggro.
where did my take aggro? Where did my MP go?
What is this MP restoration ever again? Move again? Nah, I don't need it. Takes it off hotbar.
Lucid
Rescue,
dreaming?
that's all I need.
No, I'm wide awake, baby. Tom, yes, Medica does heal less than a direct heal, than a cure or a cure 2, but it covers everybody. Unless you're cure
So-
3. Cure 3 is an AoE heal that heals about as much as a cure 1 or cure 2, but it costs way more MP. It also has the smallest range. Oh shit, it's almost 9 o'clock. I gotta get ready for a raid.
Oh my god, it is. I feel like it was just like an hour ago.
Did I say erect heal? Yeah, it gives you a boner.
And that's our loo part of the stream, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
gonna cast Chubby 2, Chubby
Oh,
3
don't
for
forget-
emergencies.
And don't forget 4 erect.
Don't forget to top it off with cream, cream 2, and cream 5.
Yeah. 5 is weaker than 1. What? I know sometimes, like, the naming convention for 14 spells is weird, because if you're playing a lot of old school Final Fantasy, you know that, you know, Faraga or Fire 3 is stronger than 2 or 1, because that's just how it works. No, not in 14. Read the damn tooltips. Chub regen. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna go rest at the town, and we're gonna call it a wrap here, guys. So next session, I'm gonna head to the Dragon Lord's castle. And I'm gonna see how much I'm gonna get my shit wrecked with the enemies inside. If I can comfortably survive the encounters, which I'm not sure if I can at this point, even with heal more, then we will grind inside the castle. That way we can at least expedite the process a bit. Because my goal right now is I want to get to level 20 to learn Hurt more, and then we're gonna go for it. We're gonna try and beat the game. But I'm not sure if we're there just yet. I have over 20,000 gold. What am I doing with this shit? I guess I can, like, max out herbs when I don't want to waste MP. It'd probably be smart to do that, too, because I have magic keys and I'm likely never going to use again.
Yep.
And I got this torch that I don't need. Hurtmore's level 19. Okay. Then we'll see what we can do at level 19 at the least. And if not, then we'll probably call it a 20. And then we'll try and beat the game. I mean, we're not doing anything else in the game. We're literally just running in circles, getting experience points and leveling up so that we can fight Dragon Lord. I mean, granted, that's what we've been doing since session 1, technically. But now it feels like there's more purpose to it. So, I mean...
Are we gonna
We just
beat
need
the
to find
game?
Erdrick's. We just need to find Erdrick's steroids, and we'll be fine.
Damn right.
Actually, we need to find a sword inside the.
We find
the
that sword
castle.
inside the castle, yeah. That's what they tell me anyway.
Yep, and then you can basically just take on the final boss at that point.
Yeah. So with that said, guys, I mean, I don't really know what else I can really say. As always, thank you guys for tuning in and catching the stream. Thanks to all the subs, the resubs, the bits, the bops, the boops, and the zippity boops. Linky and Vaughn, thank you very much for giving me company. Tom Hanks, Magic Blood. I like that as a raid hashtag. Who is raiding right now? Who can we raid?
Who's raiding right now?
Klonoa.
What was that?
Gaming still playing Klonoa.
Oh, is Derek streaming?
Yeah. I
Alright.
think we raided him last week.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Okay. Your channel, your rules. I'm just gonna come over here and just
I'm just here chilling in your couch. Nothing special.
Tom Hanks, Magic Blood. Yeah, let's raid Derek with that.
By
Alright,
the way, you
guys.
Got anything in the fridge?
I'll see you guys next time. Look forward to the Kirby Air Ride review coming out this weekend.
We got a Baja Blast, man.
And take care. Oh, wow. I don't drink Mountain Dew anyway. Anyways, I'm Derek, my love. I'll catch you guys on Friday for the next sub night. It's May 1st, so it'll be the Q&A, so bring the questions for the discussion. We'll have a good time. Have a good night, everybody.
Johnny, do you know what tomorrow is?